I'm Tajci, and today I'm coming to you from Chicago with an amazing topic: courageous leadership. Are we courageous enough to really stand up, step in, and speak out when we need to, when we're called to? And I believe that's how we could change the world and make it into a lot of safer, better place for all of us. So earlier this year, I had a really great time taking this online course by Jonathan Fields called Revolution U. And in that course, we all got to post our revolutions, our movements, what we're passionate about as we were building our, what we were doing. Immediately, I saw a post by Mike Dilbeck, who said his revolution was really to empower people to not go from standbys, passive standbys, but really step in and speak out for what's right. Immediately, he gave us like a situation, and immediately I thought, ooh, I am the one that really needs to pay attention to this. So often we witness a situation that we feel we should really stand up for the person that's being treated unkindly or unjustly, but we choose to stay silent. So I am so excited that there's people who actually teach and help us to go from powerless to powerful and change that. My guest, Mike Dilbeck. Thank you so much.
I'm so honored to be here.
So tell us about courageous leadership.
Well, I started this revolution because you're right. There are moments. Now, we want to believe that we will intervene. When we see something unjust, unfair, inappropriate, unhealthy, maybe even abusive happening to somebody or even a group of people, we want to believe. My creed starts out with, I am courageous leadership. And that is who each and every one of us is, right? And we want to believe that we will intervene. But the reality is, for all of us, and this is not a judgment against anybody, this is something for us all to be clear about and straight with ourselves. There are moments that we don't intervene. There are moments where our actions do not match what we're committed to be in the world and who we are for other people. Because it doesn't make us bad, awful, wrong people. We're caring, loving people. We want to make a difference. We want to take care of each other. You want to take care of your children, right? But things happen where we get paralyzed. We have this experience of being frozen. Or we're like, well, somebody else will do something. Or a lot of times we'll make up like, well, obviously no one else thinks this is a problem. Only I do, so it must not be.
Right, so it's that judgment that we fear.
Yes.
If we interfere, we will be judged for actually
Totally,
interfering.
there's a fear of retaliation, whether it's emotional retaliation or physical even. There's a huge fear. Fear dominates it. It dominates us. It consumes us. We swim in a sea of fear.
Is there fear of being sued if you will? So
that's legitimate. Yeah, totally legitimate. And I tell this, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm not the kind of person, I don't run in the type of program that I tell people what to do. That is your decision to make, and I encourage people to take effective, appropriate, and safe actions. But actions that you choose to take, not because Mike Dilbeck told you to, not because Tajci told you to, no, but not because anybody else told you to. You make the powerful choice yourself. And in reality, sometimes that also means handling the circumstances or the consequences of what actions you did take. And that could be legal action. It could mean some type of retaliation. It could mean that you lose a friendship. Whatever those consequences are, you're more set up to handle them because you made the choice to take the action.
And we can only hope that when we make that choice to take that action, that we have gone through enough of the personal journey to know really what choices, because there's a lot of people that strongly, passionately believe that they're choosing to do the right thing when the right thing might be hurting someone.
It could be, yeah, and sometimes they're more instinctive, reactionary actions we take. We don't have time to think. You don't have time to say, hold on, freeze, I got to strategically think about what I'm going to do. It's more of a reactionary thing, very impulsive, right? But there are things that are happening in our lives where they happen over time. We know that someone's going to act a particular way. We know comments are going to be made at work. We know that somebody's stealing. They're committing some type of fraud in the workplace. That happens over time. And we have longer to strategically think about and prepare ourselves and maybe even gather the allies, that think the same way with us. And we can prepare more effective, appropriate, and safe actions to take. And that's awesome when we have that kind of time to strategically think that way. But it's also opportunity to kind of, and this also plays into the instinctive, reactionary things. I believe there are 6 core strengths that we can all assess and develop within each of us to be more prepared to demonstrate courageous leadership over the course of our lives.
And those 6 core strengths?
The very first one is integrity. That is the foundation of everything. I actually say that the other 5 make no difference without integrity. And the next one is curiosity. Being curious, being open to and going past our own preconceptions about and our own judgments about other people and about life. When we can do that, we're more open to how is this impacting someone else? What would I want someone to do for me if I was in their shoes? But being open and aware about what's happening around you. Get your head out of your smartphone as you're walking down the street or on the bus. Another one is generosity. Being very generous, being kind to people. I say this, that if we have no interest in being kind and generous, we're never going to show courageous leadership. And I believe there's few of those people, but I believe they're few and far between. We all want to be generous and kind. There's also vulnerability. There's no way to show courageous leadership without being vulnerable, without opening yourself up to emotional exposure, with not having to know what the outcome will be. A lot of us, we like to know how this is going to go, how it's going to work out, and it's going to work out for the best. We don't know that. And sometimes it takes opening ourselves up to to kind of go past our comfort zone, right? And which feeds in the next one, which is bravery. We have to be able to be brave. We have to use courage. And fear is a human, raw emotion. We're going to have fear until we die. We'll never not experience fear in life. But we have the opportunity to take fear under our arm and say, come on, fear, you're going with me. And that is courage, and that is being brave.
Wow, and you teach that.
I do.
You are a speaker, you go all over the country.
I do, yeah.
You speak, that's wonderful, because all these core values, core strengths that you listed, that's really what we're all called to do.
Yes.
Before we stand up, step in, and speak out.
We all have to wake up. We have to wake up not only to what's happening around us, but what our commitments are. I say integrity is honoring who you say that you are, honoring your word. What word have you given to the world? This is who I am. This is what you can count on me for. And we all have that. But then that's only part of the equation. Going back to what I said earlier, we now need to take it a step further and say, am I taking the actions in life? Am I awake to what I'm committed to? And out of that awareness and awakening, am I taking the actions in reality? Because it's great to have a commitment. It's awesome.
Yes.
But unless you're taking the actions, it will make no difference. When I was a junior high student, 8th grade, and I got bullied in the hallway. I had just worn my brand new drum major uniform to school. I was so proud, thought I'd made it, thought I finally belonged, which is all we want in life. We want to belong, right? We want to be accepted for who we are. And I thought this was my big debut. This was my day. I finally made it. I'm walking down the hall, and the big bully in school stopped me and started calling me fag and sissy and queer. And, but that's not bad enough. All of his friends, all the football players, other people in the hallway started joining in and calling me the same thing. Now, that's bad enough. But I think the mark that was made on my soul was when I realized, when I kind of came out of the fog of what just happened, I was the only one left in the hallway, and no one intervened for me. No one stood up, even my best friend that was standing right beside me. And I thought, wow, people really don't care. I'm all alone. And that moment has never left me. And it's what I carry with me today so that people know that they matter and that they're not alone. And we all have to let each other know that. And it's only by our actions, it's only by intervening, it's only by showing courageous leadership for people, letting people know, I've got your back, you're okay. That's how we're going to change this world. It's the only way I believe we can.
The world would be a better place.
The world would be a better
Thank
place.
you so much, Mike.
So welcome. Thank you.
So, Mike, what I
Yeah.
do in each episode is I match a song with the topic, because I really, in my own life, the music was what awakened my spirit.
Absolutely.
And really, helped me to wake up from slumber. So, for this occasion, we will sing
From Les Mis.
Les Mis.
Come on, baby.
Revolution.
Do you hear the people sing?
Yes, and we will use our phones. You can do this at home.
Yeah.
Sing any song.
Pull it up.
Yes.
Google
ready?
it.
Do you hear the people sing, singing a song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Then join in the fight that will give you the right to be free. Do you hear the people sing, singing a song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Tomorrow comes. Tomorrow comes. Yay!
How was that?
That was good.
We kind of rocked on that.
Yeah.
We rocked.
When we live our lives half asleep, going through the motions, following our routines, repeating the words somebody else said because they feel comfortable rather than true to the depths of our soul, to who we really are, then we really are just the passive bystanders. And really, the world doesn't have much use of us. So here's a challenge. Go deep in your soul this week and see how can you become that courageous leader. How can you muster up the strength and the responsibility of who you are, what your soul is about, to really make the difference, to stand up, to step in, and to speak out for what is right, to make this world a lot better place for everyone. And of course, with love. So wake up, and live an awakened life. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.